It's Roy Kelly for SecondsOut. Thrilled to be joined by Frank Smith, CEO of Matchroom. 2 days out from the Next Gen show at the Utility Arena. Back in Georgia land, Frank, are you pleased to be back?
Yeah, great to be back. I was saying on the stage, we've had some special nights here with the likes of Lewis Ritz, and that arena, the atmosphere it creates is quite amazing. And look, long term, we want to go to St James's Park. So yeah, good to be back. Feels like a second home.
Yeah, and you've got some great talent on, headlined by Cyrus Patterson against Chris Jenkins for the WBA international title. How do you see that one going?
Look, I think it's a great fight. Cyrus Patterson stepping up in just his 6th fight. Chris Jenkins, I think 32 fights he's had. Reeling off the names of the recent fights. He's been in there with some great opposition, and I think these are the kind of fights that Cyrus has to get through. To get to where he wants to be in quick succession. He wants to move quickly, and that's great to see as well in this sport, is fighters who want to take opportunities and move at pace throughout the ranks.
And his face is proudly adorned behind us, Pat McCormack, and you've got Callum French on as well, Mark Dickinson. What's it like to have like a really burgeoning stable of good young fighters?
Yeah, look, important for us. Newcastle's a big market for us that we want to focus on. As I said, the nights we created it previously, it was something that we wanted to focus on. Pat McCormack, a very, very talented fighter, brilliant fighter that we wanted for a long time. Mark Dickinson, the same as well. Callum French, as you say there. And then a stacked card as well. Hopey Price fighting for a title fight, stepping up against a former world title challenger. You got Sol Dakers against Robert Ismay. Robert Ismay sold about 300 tickets. I think it's going to be some atmosphere for that in there. But Sol, again, 5 fights in, going in there against Robert, who's had 11 fights. That's going to really build into something. Muhammad Ali's professional debut on the card as well. You got Maisie Rose Courtney's on there as well. So stacked top to bottom all the way through. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think it's just over a year and a half since Matchroom were here at the Eagles Arena last time. You must be looking forward to more of these bigger nights, and you say the ultimate dream of St James's Park.
Yeah, look, of course, and it takes time to build these guys to that point. You saw what Lewis created. He worked so hard to do that. I think all these guys have seen that and think they can build that as well here. So yeah, big nights are coming to Newcastle. This is just the start of Next Gen show. We're going to have a great crowd in there, great atmosphere on Saturday, and then we build from there.
On the subject of big guys, they don't come any bigger than Anthony Joshua. How are the preparations going for his fight with Jermaine and Miller in London?
Yeah, really good. He's trained really hard for this one. He obviously went out to Dallas, training with Derek James out there. Looks in unbelievable shape. But Jermaine Franklin's a formidable opponent. I think he looks in great shape as well. He's trained hard. This is his opportunity to upset. And AJ's put it all in, but flies back. I think he lands back into the UK today, and back into training, and straight back into training in the UK, and back at the O2. It's going to be a special atmosphere in there.
Yeah, a little bit's been made about the ticket sales, or maybe maybe a slow ticket sales as well. Do you think over the next few weeks, when the build-up really cranks up, that you'll get to a full house?
Yeah, 100%. I'm very relaxed. We're going to sell out that arena. There won't be a seat left in there. So yeah, very relaxed about that. I think the market may change a little bit. It's tough times in the world right now. People spending money, and I think it will become a lot of a later audience. Moving forward, we announced it in quite a short time frame, just after the Christmas first payday, first week of February. But I think, as I say, very relaxed. AJ's still got the star pulling power he's always had.
It's still with the heavyweights. Do you think we'll see Usyk and Fury get it on? Do you think that will happen?
I hope so. Things seem to be pointing in that direction, but let's see. It's a lot of work to be done. It's only 5.5-6 weeks away to April 29th. But look, I hope it does. For the sake of boxing, it'll be great for the sport. So fingers crossed they can get it over the line.
Yeah, you've obviously thrashed out a couple of deals already with Oleksandr. He's fought AJ. Are you surprised with maybe how this has just dragged on?
Yeah, look, I think Oleksandr's won the public perception vote out of all of this. Tyson, some of the things haven't come across too well. Alex Krasuk and the team are very good to deal with, but it's a massive fight. Sometimes these things take a bit longer, but hopefully it doesn't get delayed. Hopefully we get to see it, and everything pointing in that direction now. There were days where you thought actually no, but let's wait and see.
Yeah, how important is it for the sport that we do see the biggest fights, not just the big fights, the biggest fights?
Yeah, look, the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. It's a massive moment for the sport. It's what people dream about, and I think we've said it for quite a while that we'll get it. But I do think we'll get it, and then it gives someone else the opportunity to chase down those belts again.
And just while we've got you here, Frank, just what's the latest with Conor Benn? How are things looking with Conor?
Yeah, look, the plan is for Conor Benn. We're working on some options for June 3rd, obviously, in Abu Dhabi. Manny Pacquiao, one option for there, but Chris Eubank Jr. as well, I think, is a great fight. But let's see how it plays out. Focus is to get Conor back up and running in a major fight.
How is Conor just in himself at the moment? I assume he's training every day, and he probably look superb, but how is he mentally at the moment?
Look, I think since he's been cleared and he's been training all throughout, it's been a hard time for him, what he's had to go through, but the focus now is back in the gym, training hard, in the best shape he's ever been.
What did you make of his interview with Piers Morgan? From a viewer's point of view, there seem to be as many questions left unanswered than answered.
I'll be honest, I watched snippets of it. I've been travelling so much, I got bits of it. People will have their view on the way he answered the questions, but at the same time, no one has ever been through the kind of period he's been through and what he's had to mentally go through. So I think, it's quite easy to judge when you're sitting there. It's even like I sit up there. It's not the easiest thing always to do, is it? It's never easy for him, but I think mentally he's got to get back into a good place. And people will have made their mind up, unfortunately, I think, about Conor Benn. A lot of people.
Did you see the point, though, that people would rather see him speak to the British Boxing Board of Control than a chat show host, a journalist?
Yeah, but you have to understand, he's cleared himself with the WBC, the party who undertook the test. The British Boxing Board of Control, certain things that happened in the build-up to that fight, they set their sort of the position around charges away from the doping tests. It made it hard for him to deal with him, because I think they had in his mind, a sort of predetermined view without actually giving him a fair trial. That's all he was asking for. And I think certain decisions that were made showed that maybe that's not what he was going to get there. He was always adamant that he wanted to clear his name, hence why he didn't box for 5 months. He could have boxed a week after, but his first focus was to clear his name with the party who undertook the testing, which he did. But yeah, the position the board took with certain things, obviously put him in a position. So, we can talk about it all day, but I feel like we've spoken about it for 6 months now, and it's the same answers.
Yeah, so where Matchroom are concerned, it's all systems go for June.
Yeah, look, that's the focus for us. He's cleared to box. That was always the focus, to give him that process, which he went through, and he was then cleared. I'm sure there's still going to be questions from people. I'm sure long term as well there'll be discussions around the British Boxing Board of Control. It's just not, in my eyes, a short-term discussion from history of these conversations.
And just the last one, Frank. Joshua Buatsi signed for Boxer this week and made some, maybe not damning comments, but he's saying he was disappointed with maybe the billing he was receiving with Matchroom and the level he was boxing at on DAZN. What do you make of his move?
Yeah, look, I was upset by some of the comments. Felt like we had a great relationship with Joshua Buatsi. Worked with him for 5 years since he turned professional. We delivered him some great fights, and then delivered him some opportunities which he didn't think were right for whatever reasons. But I suppose more upset with some of the comments, really. But that's that, and we have to move on. We have to focus on the stable we do have. A lot of the conversation around the app, etc. Well, DAZN have just announced today they're available on the Sky platform on Channel 429. He talks about apps. I mean, the world is all on apps now. 230 million subscribers to Netflix. That's how people digest content now. I'm not going to sit here and say, no, Sky's platform is not the biggest within sport. Of course it's the biggest within sport right now in the UK. But there's a lot of ways to build a fighter. And DAZN is now the most accessible platform there is. You can get it on your phone, you can get it on your laptop, you can get it on your smart TV, and you can get it on Sky Channel 429. It's available everywhere. It's available in more ways than even skyboxing shows are. So, I think we're in a good place with it.
Many thanks for joining us on Seconds Out, Frank, and all the best for Saturday.
Cheers, mate. Thank you for coming.